Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your Crash Test Gamer here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Super deck profile. And this deck profile is going to be on the new starter deck leader, the Masked Saiyan. Alright, before we get into that though, I am happy to say that I am 11 subscribers away from 300. And once I do reach 300, I'm going to be having a giveaway for the Villains expansion set. So keep an eye on that. Whenever I hit 300 subscribers, I will make a video so you can enter to win that giveaway. Alright, so without further ado, here we go. The Masked Saiyan. Of course, this is the new black leader that will be coming out in the starter deck. What I wanted to do with this leader is have a lot of aggressive critical attackers during turn 1, 2, and 3, putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. Alright, so let's look at the black cards. The first card we're looking at here is Supreme Kai of Time, World Protector. Of course, this is our 10k boost. Whenever you have 5 or more cards in your warp, this card becomes active. So pretty much turn 2, your super combo becomes active in this deck. Other than that though, it's your standard 10k boost, draw a card. Alright, next card is Haru, Attacker Majin. This is a 15k body critical striker for 3 cost. And if you're playing against green or yellow, during turn 4 or 5, you can do some pretty crazy combos with Haru, Attack Majin, and Dark Plot. Alright, so next card is Time Patrol Trunks. Of course, the best card in the Villains expansion. You bring him out for 3. Have 3 cards in your drop, bring them out, do an overround, bring them out, and you get to look at the 2 cards on top of your deck and choose one, put it in your hand, and the other card on top, you can put it on top or bottom of your deck. Really powerful card. Next up is Increasing Evil Masked Saiyan. Now, the reason I put this guy in my deck is to stop any of those crazy EX evolves that people are going to try to do early. So if your opponent puts down, one of those 5 cost cards early in the game, you can use this card to pretty much take that card out and not worry about the EX evolve next turn. So that's why I have this guy in my deck, to try to put the brakes on those, turn 2 EX evolves. All right, so Mira from the Darkness. I have 4 of these. Of course, 4 Overrealm critical card. Like I said, this deck is always trying to throw out critical attackers to put a lot of pressure on your opponent. Next up is Trunks, Power Overseeing Time. And now this card is a Overrealm 4, 2 energy cost, and a double striker. And when he comes out, you get to choose up to 1 battle card in your warp and add it to your hand. So this is a great way to get your super combos out of the warp, or any card that you need for next turn to do a crazy combo. Alright, next up is Killer Sword Trunks. This is a Xeno Evolve 4. And also what's good with this card is it's a great target for Dark Plot. This card has double strike no matter what. So it doesn't matter if you overwhelm it or you bring it out with Dark Plot, it's still going to have the double strike. Next up is Killer Sword Trunks. This is a Xeno Evolve 4 and also a double strike. And when you Xeno Evolve into this card, you choose up to 1 battle card in your warp with an energy cost of 3 or less and play it. So this is another great card to use with Haru, Attacking Majin, which is another part of the combo you could use on turn 4 or 5. So you can bring out a lot of attackers turn 4 or 5. Alright, next up is Scientist Fu. Now, I wasn't originally going to put this card in my deck, but because this card, you can activate his ability in the front and the back in the same turn. So what you would want to do is you would use his ability, then awaken, use his ability again, and maybe attack and, put 1 more card in the warp if you don't have enough. And then you could Overrealm 7, play 1 energy, and boom, you get to draw 2 cards. Yeah, and you have a 25k double striker on the field. This card can also be used turn 2 if you go first. You use Masked Saiyan's ability, pass the turn. Use Masked Saiyan's ability again, attack with Masked Saiyan. Maybe use the Champa to put another card in the drop and then play Scientist Fu. So he can come out turn 2 with the Masked Saiyan. So turn 2, draw 2 cards, and you have a 25k double striker on the field. So that's it for the black battle cards. The next up is red. We have 4 Saiyan Cabbas. Usually he'll be energy, maybe keep 1 to allow you to awaken. But you also have a Increasing Evil Masked Saiyan if you're at 5, if they leave you at 5 health. He's another way to awaken. So usually Saiyan Cabba will be early game energy. Next card is Quick Rush Trunks, another critical striker that can be brought out with 2 red energy. Now, if you're lucky enough to get 2 energy by turn 2, you can, you know, Mass Saiyan, use his ability, he becomes critical. Play 2 red energy, bring out him. Now you got another 15k critical. Then you overwhelm into Mira. And now in turn 2, you have 3 critical cards on the field. So you're putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. But that's if you get lucky enough to have 2 red energy on the field and the quick rush trunks in your hand by turn 2. Next up, of course, 4 furthering destruction Champas. This gives your leader or any battle card that you put him under double strike. So usually you'll leave your opponent at 5 energy, then you'll swing with one of your critical cards, hopefully, and give them double strike. Of course, now we move over to Pride and Justice Toppo. This is pretty much the only negate we have. Now he is 4 energy. It would cost 4 energy, but when you or your opponent are at 4 life, he's discounted 2 energy. So he only costs 2 red energy to bring out and use as a negate. Alright, next up is Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. This guy is pretty much just an energy card or a super combo that costs 1 energy. You pay 1 energy, use him to combo, and you get to draw a card. So it's pretty much like having 4 more super combos in your deck. I'll usually use him at the end when I go for game. Alright, and last up is our extra cards. Of course, we only have 1 type of extra card, and that's 4 Dark Plots. Our main target for the Dark Plot is going to be, like I said, the Trunks Power Overseeing Time. And his double strike is not activated by Overrealm. So he becomes a 20k double striker that you play out, you know, for 3 energy pretty much. Now onto our side deck. We have mostly blue and a couple of situational cards. As you can see here, we have a blue package that we could switch in to make our deck a lot more defensive. First up is Encouraging Presence Monaka. Of course, you use 1 blue energy, you play him, and give your leader double strike, and you get to draw a card. So the reason people usually don't use him is because he doesn't give you any boost to your attack power, but Mass Saiyan gives himself a boost. So if you use Encouraging Presence Monaka, you get to draw a card. So let's say you use it turn 1, your opponent would have to use either 1 cost 10k boost or 2 5k boosts in order to stop the attack from going through, and that's good value. All right, next up is 4 Senzu Beans. Of course, this is a very defensive card. You pay 1 blue energy and ready 2 energy. So you pay 1 energy, put 5k on your battle card or your leader. It's pretty self-explanatory. Everybody knows what this card is pretty much. Next up is 4 Whis Coercions. Again, we're trying to be really defensive with the blue package, and it's pretty much a free negate if you have a blue card open. Next up is Power Aura Mira. This card is really good if you have 3 cards in your warp. This card gains a 5k boost, and if you have 5 cards in your warp, this card gains another 5k boost. So he's pretty much a 25k beater. This is another great target for Dark Plot. You use Dark Plot, bring him out, ready up 3 energy, so he pretty much becomes a 1 cost 25k beater. Of course, if you're going against monkeys, Absolute Attack Mira is in the side deck, just in case you have somebody playing monkeys with all those blockers and stuff. Of course, he can be cold bloodlusted. Monkeys is a yellow deck, so that's the only problem. But if you can get by the cold bloodlust, play this card. Your opponent has 2 life. Maybe put a Champa on him. It could win you the game. All right, so that is the Mass Saiyan deck profile. What I'm gonna do next is show you a little scenario of how to use the Dark Plot Haru combo with the Trunks Power Overseeing Time. But you could also do the Dark Plot Haru combo turn 4, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Alright, so in this scenario, it is turn 5 and our opponent just passed. We will untap all, draw a card. Okay. We will play this card as energy. Okay, so now we do our leader's ability. Alright, so we got a green, okay, so we have a red and a black, so now he becomes a 20k critical striker. Alright, and now we have 5 cards in the warp. We will overwhelm to bring up Time Patrol Trunks. Look at the top 2 cards. No, more Time Patrol Trunks. Okay, so we put one in our hand, put one in the bottom of the deck. All right, so now here's where the fun begins. We are going to use 4 energy, bring out Dark Plot. All right, so look at our cards in the warp. We will bring out Trunks Power Overseeing Time. So that brings out a 20k double striker. And because he is Overrealm, we can untap 3 cards. All right, so we will tap 4 more cards. Bring out Dark Plot. This time, we will look at all cards. We will bring out Haru, Attacker Majin. And because, let's say we are going against a green leader or a yellow leader, we would be able to stand up 4 energy, even though she has no Overrealm. And now we can play 3 more cards, or 3 more energy, bring out another Haru, Attacker Majin to stand up. All right, so now what we would do is we would attack with Time Patrol Trunks. Either the attack goes through. We won't combo. Either the attack goes through or it doesn't. It doesn't really matter. So now we would use 4 energy to use Killer Sword Trunks. Send this to the warp. And now we can play another 3-cost card from the warp and bring it out to the field. And look at that. We got another Haru in here. Boom. So now we'll stand up. And just like that, you'll have a huge presence on the field. You have 2 double strikers. You have 3 critical cards. And of course, you have your leader, which is a 20k critical. And you have Furthering Destruction Champa. And if your opponent is at maybe 4, maybe 3 life, this will pretty much be lethal. But that's the kind of shenanigans you could use with Haru and Dark Plot. Even if your opponent's leader isn't yellow or green, you can still do crazy stuff with Dark Plot and Killer Sword Trunks or Trunks Power Overseeing Time. You can still bring out a lot of cards on the field, even without the Haru. But that's just a little example of what this deck can do, what it's capable of. We have a ton of critical strikers. We have the Furthering Destruction Champas that can give them double strike. So this deck is pretty much focused on being hyper aggressive. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. Really make sure to subscribe because 11 more subscribers and we will have the 300 subscriber giveaway. I will make that video as soon as we hit 300 subscribers. And once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a comment to let me know how I'm doing. If anything can be changed. If anything you don't like, anything you do like, let me know. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.